guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Hillary, and if you're not new here, you should already know that my name is, in fact, Hillary. Tonight we're going to be covering the spooky story of the Screaming Tunnel, and if you live near Niagara Falls or Toronto, you should have probably heard about this one. It's mostly on the Canadian side. I don't know if you Americans have heard of it, but it's creepy. Now, in the Niagara region, there sits this tunnel that over quite a few years has developed this legend. So we're going to get right into it and talk about this legend of this tunnel. There's quite a few variations of this legend. They all have been passed down through the years and through the generations. So the legend varies and they all are a little bit different. And in my opinion, they all kind of seem to be trying to explain the unexplainable, like weird things that have happened, and each of these stories is trying to maybe make up a ghost for some strange things that are happening on this quiet road. One of these versions says that there was a girl who her farm happened to be burning down, and as it was burning down, she tried to escape, and she made a run out of the barn with her clothes completely on fire, and she tried to run down to some water where she could extinguish it. I don't know why you didn't stop, drop, and roll, but she was running, and she managed to get to the tunnel, and as she got there, unfortunately, she passed away. And people say that they can still hear her screaming and trying to put out her clothes, which were ablaze. While another story tells of a young girl whose father dragged her down to the tunnel and set her on fire because he was angry over losing a custody battle with his daughter's mother. Now, that one just makes my skin crawl. I don't like the idea. Why you trying to harm a kid? I don't know, but what if you can't have her, no one can? That's a little creepy. And our third story talks about also the same young girl ended up running down into the tunnel. I don't know why she was there at nighttime, but as she was there happened to be a man there, and he ended up taking advantage of her in this tunnel. And again, she's screaming. So either way, if any of these happened, you're gonna hear her screaming, and it's awful. Even though every story is a little bit different, they all end the exact same way, with this girl dying in the blackness of the tunnel. Now, the way I was told this story when I was a kid in Toronto was that if anyone was brave enough, they would go to this tunnel at midnight, walk into the very middle of the tunnel, and light a match. And if you light a match, you're supposed to hear the screams of this ghost, and wind or a breath is supposed to blow the match out. Local historians and neighbors that used to live around that time all tell a different story. They say that it used to be a very tiny village, and there used to be houses on the other side of the tunnel. And there was a man and a woman that would constantly be fighting. They would always be upset at each other. And the woman, to vent her frustrations, not caring who heard her, how many people, would run down to this tunnel, go into the very middle, and scream all of her frustrations out. This story really comes down on what you believe. Do you believe that this girl was harmed in the tunnel, or was it just a neighbor who was angry at her husband and screamed out her frustrations and maybe left an imprint on this world? Now, as a teenager, I decided to go visit this tunnel. So we came up on Halloween, me and a couple friends, and walked through it. And it is very scary. If you don't have a flashlight to walk through the darkness, you are surrounded at all sides except for a little bit of moonlight that peeks in on either side of the tunnel. And above the tunnel, it runs a train track. So if you're there at the wrong time and a train comes by, it will spook you. When I went there, I hadn't had any experiences, but a lot of people do have experiences there. I've heard a whole bunch of different contradicting stories that people did see a girl. They heard a scream that echoed the entire tunnel, and if that had happened to me, I would have gone crazy. It was dark, slippery. I could see people getting hurt. trying to run out of this tunnel because some ghost is yelling at you. I'm gonna see if I can include a couple of the pictures of me going in, and if you see them, they're gonna be here right about now. All I can say that going there during Halloween was, it did give you a little bit of an eerie feeling. And I don't know if that's from the years of this legend, hearing it at school or actually going to see it, maybe creeped me out, but I could see there being like something there. Some a little strange. Now it's completely up to you guys. Do you guys believe that a ghost still haunts this tunnel? A ghost of a poor little girl that was harmed so many years ago? Or do you think it was just some crazy lady that kept going down there screaming that created all this? I don't know, but it's up to you guys to decide. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. See ya.